Hey there, Emerson Eagle. So this video is chapters 9 and 10 of the book My Father's Dragon by Ruth Stiles Gannett. If you haven't watched the videos for chapters 1 all the way through 8, make sure that you go watch those first so that you understand what's happening in this last part of the story. So this is the very end of this book. We're going to finish the book in this video. In the last video, I asked you to make some predictions about what you thought might happen at the end. So I want you to think about those predictions you made and keep them in your brain while you listen to the rest of the story. You're also going to be working on making text-to-self connections, text-to-text connections, inferences, visualizing, and wondering while we listen to this end of the story. Okay, so this is chapter 9. My father makes a bridge. My father walked back and forth along the bank, trying to think of some way to cross the river. He found a high flagpole with a rope going over to the other side. The rope went through a loop at the top of the pole and then down the pole around a for a baby dragon. My father knew that if he called the water. Oh, no, thank you. Oh, no, not in the least, said the crocodile. father leapt onto the other bank, one of the wild boars jumped onto the back of the first crocodile. My father didn't have a moment to spare. By now the dragon realized that my father was coming to rescue him. He ran out of the bushes and jumped up and down yelling, "Here I am! I'm right here! Can you see me? Hurry! The boar is coming over, the crocodiles too! They'll all be coming over! Oh please, hurry, hurry!" The noise was simply terrific. My father ran up to the dragon and took out his very sharp jackknife. "Steady, old boy, steady. We'll make it. Just stand still," he told the dragon. And he began to saw through the big rope. By this time, both boars, all 7 tigers, the 2 lions, the rhinoceros, and the gorilla, along with the countless screeching monkeys, were all on their way across the crocodiles, and there was still a lot. "Oh, hurry," the dragon kept saying, and my father again told him to stand still. "If I don't think I can make it," said my father, "we'll fly over to the other side of the river and I'll finish cutting the rope there." Suddenly the screaming grew louder and madder, and my father thought the animals must have crossed the river. He looked around and saw something which surprised and delighted him. Delighted means made him happy. Partly because he had finished his lollipop, and partly because, as I told you before, crocodiles are very moody and not the least bit dependable, and are always looking for something to eat. The first crocodile had turned away from the bank and started swimming down the river. The second crocodile hadn't finished yet, so he followed right behind the first one, still sucking his lollipop. All the rest did the same thing, one right after the other, until they were all swimming away in a line. The 2 wild boars, the 7 tigers, the rhinoceros, the 2 lions, the gorilla, along with the countless screeching monkeys, were all riding down the middle of the river on the train of crocodiles. Sucking pink lollipops and yelling and screaming and getting their feet wet. My father and the dragon laughed themselves weak because it was such a silly sight. As soon as they had recovered, my father finished cutting the rope, and the dragon raced around in circles and tried to turn a somersault. He was the most excited baby dragon that ever lived. My father was in a hurry to fly away, and when the dragon finally calmed down a bit, my father climbed up onto his back. "All aboard," said the dragon. "Where shall we go?" "We'll spend the night on the beach, and tomorrow we'll start on the long journey home." "So it's off to the shores of Tangerina," shouted my father as the dragon soared above the dark jungle and the muddy river, and all the animals bellowing at them, and all the crocodiles licking pink lollipops and grinning wide grins. After all, what did the crocodiles care about a way to cross the river, and what a fine feast they were carrying on their backs. As my father and the dragon passed over the ocean rocks, they heard a tiny, excited voice scream, "Bumkak! Bumkak! We need our dragon! We need our dragon!" But my father and the dragon knew that nothing in the world would ever make them go back to Wild Island. And that is the end of this story. Here at the back of the book we have a map of Wild Island and the island of Tangerina. And here's the ocean rocks that Elmer crossed over. Alright, so that is the end of this story. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it. I'm really wondering if your predictions were right, if you were making good visualizations while you were listening. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll be choosing another read aloud soon, so keep checking for new read aloud videos.